You have fire code violations at your club.
Listen.
Hey, don't touch the camera.
Leave me alone, all right? Leave me the alone.
Mike, do me a favor and go away, all right?
We need to ask you about what happened that time that you had that sex on duty. Right after the shooting, they came out here to the crime scene and found this bullet still lodged in the brick wall. This wind is very intense at times, and it comes in gusts. These are not really sustained winds, but when they come in gusts, they really pound us, and I have to keep wiping off my photographer's lens so that you can see what's going on. I'm actually using my sock. That means they are 7 inches too close. May seem like a minor detail, but it could cause major problems. When we first confronted the contractor who hired Owens, Michael Lane, he took off. So how much concrete are we really talking about here? Well, it's 6 cubic yards, and this is what 6 cubic yards looks like. It's enough to fill 27 of these wheelbarrows.
You're asking me a damn thing, okay?
Actually, I am going to ask you a couple of questions about the helicopter. And I want to tell you, LASIK surgery is becoming more and more popular. That means the business itself is becoming more competitive, so the consumers have to watch out. The ads for LASIK are everywhere. You could say it's surgery for sale, but as you're about to see, picking the place with the best price could turn out to be the worst thing you do. The ad in the paper is a real eye-opener. LASIK surgery for $299 an eye at the LASIK Vision Institute in Tampa. And the initial consultation is free. Looks like quite a deal. But our investigation reveals it might not be so easy to get that cut rate offer. So you say that you do surgeries for $299 per eye? The manager at this LVI on Fowler Avenue wouldn't tell us how many patients actually get LASIK for $299 an eye. So we decided to try and find out for ourselves. We sent a member of our team inside LVI with a hidden camera. Jason Meyer, a patient counselor with no medical background, explains the cost of the surgery, offering 3 different package deals. But when our patient asked if he could get the advertised deal for $299,
he said my eyes were very much out of the range of that $299, yes.
Even before his eyes are thoroughly examined by a medical professional, Meyer tells our patient he doesn't qualify for the special rate. Instead, Meyer offers LASIK surgery for $1,799 per eye, a total of nearly $3,600. So to be sure it's the right choice, our patient asked to meet with the surgeon before he signs any papers.
We asked to meet the doctor, and both couldn't because they were in surgery.
Sounds like a reasonable explanation, but then our patient is told he has to put down a $100 deposit before meeting the surgeon. When our patient refuses, the counselor walks out.
He actually showed a little bit of anger.
A couple of weeks later, we tried to speak with Jason Meyer ourselves. Do you mind if we come in here and wait for Jason?
I do mind if you come in here. Yeah, you have to wait.
Do you ever do surgeries for $299 per eye?
Yes, we do, but I can't talk to you. Yeah.
We spoke with 6 LVI patients who had surgery on the same day. None got the advertised special. Did anybody see an ad in the paper? Or?
That's all I saw.
The president of LVI, Marco Musa, claims the company still has the best deal in town. We caught up with Musa at LVI's corporate headquarters in Palm Beach County.
I challenge you to put out there the truth of the matter, and that the fact of the matter is that we provide the very best surgeons out there, the most experienced surgeons, at the overall average price to be the lowest in the nation. I challenge you to do that.
I challenge you to show me how many people you have done a surgery for $299 per eye.
And I will promise you that I will do that. I hope you print that, as long as I have your promise that you will print what I just said.
Absolutely. Well, you saw it. We aired his statement, but Marco Musa didn't keep his promise. In fact, we never got a complete answer from LVI. Their attorney later told us that they just don't keep track of how many patients get surgery for $299 an eye. All 6 of the LVI patients we interviewed spent thousands. They all had the procedure done the same day, and they all got terrible eye infections.
It burned, it hurt. You couldn't open my eyes.
It's incredible amounts of pain.
Oh, I went through hell. Ron Link runs a website which serves as the largest advocacy group in the country for patients who have been harmed by LASIK. It's based right here in Tampa. A botched surgery in Ohio cost Ron his career as a firefighter. Now he's fighting for higher standards.
And I've dialogued with thousands of people who wish they had never, ever, laid under that laser.
LASIK surgery can be very successful if the patient is screened properly by a licensed medical doctor. How common is infection after surgery?
It's incredibly rare. Out of 20,000 cases, I've never had an infection.
Dr. Stephen Updegraff of St. Petersburg meets with each of his patients before surgery. He examined the same patient we sent into LVI and determined his surgery should cost $2,250 per eye. That's $450 more than LVI quoted. But patients harmed by LASIK now realize you can't put a price tag on something as precious as your vision.
I can't go to the eye store and buy another pair of eyes.
Earlier this year, the Federal Trade Commission filed a lawsuit against LVI for making false claims. The Department of Health warns patients to meet with the surgeon before the actual surgery. And as for the infections suffered by the patients in our story, LVI says it believes an airborne virus is to blame.
It is a case of drunk driving caught on tape. The Tampa police officer arrested for this crime even admits he was drunk.
But the case was dismissed and the court records no longer exist. And you won't believe the excuses the Action News investigators are getting. Mike Mason confronted the judge who made the questionable decisions. And Mike, what did he have to say when you did confront him?
Well, Wendy, he really didn't want to say anything at all, but he didn't have much of a choice. For months, Judge Elvin Martinez hasn't talked to anyone about this case, refusing requests for an interview. But we showed up at the courthouse with a camera, and he finally did talk for the first time. Problem is, what he said just doesn't add up. In August of 2001, Hillsborough County deputies got a call that someone was driving the wrong way down US 41 in Lutz. The driver, Sergeant Norman Crutchfield of the Tampa Police Department, was drunk. He failed a field sobriety test, and his blood alcohol content was nearly 3 times the legal limit. No doubt you were drunk that night, though.
No doubt.
Even though Sergeant Crutchfield admits he was drunk that night, he was never charged with DUI.
My records have been expunged.
You won't find a record of Sergeant Crutchfield's arrest at the county courthouse. That's because a judge ordered the file to be removed from the public record. This videotape is the only evidence of what happened that night. County Judge Elvin Martinez dismissed the case based on a technicality. But some wonder if Martinez's ruling was too lenient. Are you soft on drunk drivers?
Oh, of course not. You've got to. That's an insult.
I've got to ask the question.
Insult. Well, that's an insult.
Judge Martinez dismissed the case because of a missing audio tape like this one. The tape had 911 calls made by witnesses who saw Crutchfield's car driving down the road the wrong way. The tape was sitting in a recycle bin here at the sheriff's office, and the state attorney couldn't find it until the day of court. Judge Martinez said that was unacceptable, and he simply dismissed the entire case.
I think this guy got the lucky break of the decade.
Attorney Pat Anderson believes the audio tape had nothing to do with the judge's decision.
That kind of a tape would be icing on the cake, that's all.
Anderson has experience prosecuting judges. She once worked with the Judicial Qualifications Commission, a state agency that investigates judges and allegations of misconduct. She says Judge Martinez's decision doesn't make a lot of sense.
Very unusual, very unusual.
Why would he do something like this?
You know, somebody ought to ask him.
And we did.
I don't remember the case. I'm telling you, I have many cases.
And guess what? Sergeant Crutchfield doesn't remember much about it either. Crutchfield claims the night he was arrested, he was so drunk that he blacked out. And he says there's a possibility someone else was driving his car that night, even though that person was nowhere to be found, and Crutchfield was the only one in the driver's seat. You say you weren't driving?
No, I have no recollection of driving.
He may have been abducted by aliens, that other passenger.
It's true.
Anything could happen, right? And who was Mr. Crutchfield to say? Because he was too drunk to remember?
But the videotape is a clear reminder. It shows Crutchfield stumbling time and time and time again. He also fails to cooperate with the DUI investigation.
I'm not interfering in your investigation, sir. I have my hands behind my back.
Even with all of this, case dismissed.
I think the judge made a correct decision.
Court will come to order. Judge Martinez would not explain why he dismissed the case.